Good morning. Welcome to SimWorld today, August 23rd, Friday. I am joined, like we are every Friday now, moving forward, by Rick Blaze. Good morning, Rick. How are you?
The Alpha and Omega of SimWorld TV is back, baby. What's going on, Marsh? How are you, good brother?
I'm fantastic for a Friday. I mean, tough to be in a bad mood come the last day of the week, unless you're somebody named Ronwell Wilson who is obsessed with Mondays for some reason.
Yeah,
We
I
got
guess.
plenty to get to. Plenty to get to. We got a special guest coming on towards the end of our show, but we're also doing some preview of the Hoops Hooligan tournament coming up this week and continued rollout of SimWorld Prep announcements. But first, want to talk SimWorld U, where we continue to inch ever so much closer to the start of the regular season. But a recent report came out that there is some hoopla around D. Woodley, the man who created his own shoe when he was in high school. There's some people thinking that Jackson State, who has moved over to the American Conference, has a chance to be contenders in the conference, and that D. Woodley may even lead the country in scoring. Rick, your take.
Well, me and Diva Woodley go back quite a ways from the Ground Zero season. We're acquaintances, I would say. But yes, to answer your question, yes, he's a phenomenal scorer. And the team Jackson State in that division does have a chance. If you look at the guys that they have, D. Willie, of course, returning, but then you had guys like Richard Alpine. You had guys like Renzo Bryant coming off injury. Then you have Roy Mason and the smaller JJ Ruff, a tough player. I think they have enough to compete. This is not a team that you want to come into the season taking lightly. I know it's a small HBCU, but they have some good pieces. They have some players on there. And I wouldn't sleep on Jackson State this season because you can get an L and D. Willie can put up points like the best of them in college basketball.
I agree. College basketball might not be like the professional level where it's all dependent on a star, but what's going to separate you from a roster that's it's fine. I don't look at Jackson State's roster and say, yeah, this is just loaded with high-end prospects. It's certainly not in terms of the depth of it what Memphis or what Houston has, but there's good players there. But D. Woodley is on the same level as Lace Darius Outlaw, as Aji Feshbenle, as Freddie Stonewall. Those are the guys that at the end of games for Memphis and Houston, who I think are the top two teams in this conference, those are going to be the guys that are going to step in and you're going to turn to. That's D. Woodley. And I think that's very much an equalizer for this team. Now, is he going to lead the league or lead the country in scoring? That's a bold proclamation, considering college basketball traditionally just has ridiculous scoring from ridiculous levels. But to think Jackson State can't run with this, and I think SMU's got an outside shot of being maybe team number 4 there with the addition of Cam Jones.
Mm.
I think that they are a team that's most certainly capable. To your point, it is a small school, though, making a pretty sizable leap. Some of the other newcomers to the conference, like Princeton, like Richmond, like Hartford, like Davidson, those teams are making a step up in their level of competition. I should have brought up Davidson as the teams with a superstar at the top that should be very dangerous there because they are. Um, I think Jackson State has the biggest leap to go, but I think the reason that they can or won't make that leap is going to be squarely on the shoulders of D. Woodley and what he's able to produce here at the next level.
I mean, obviously they're going to. They're going to sink or swim based on what D. Willie does or does not do. Again, he is a scoring savant. So when it comes to that perspective, he's just as good as some of those guys you mentioned. It's going to be interesting to see. But Jackson State definitely will be competing in a division this season for sure.
In what I wouldn't call it, in my opinion, the most engaging one in terms of like the star power, right? I think your traditional Power Five conferences are going to do that, but I actually am very fascinated with this because I think the American Conference, some luck of their own by getting some good schools in there, but also by the luck of really talented players choosing surprising schools. Talking about D. Willie, talking
Yeah.
about Bernard James, it's going to be a very fascinating conference to watch just based off everything that they've got going on. All right, let's head to SimWorld Prep, but well, not really SimWorld Prep, all levels of SimWorld Hoops here. This weekend, the Hoops Hooligan 3
Yep.
versus 3 tournament kicks off. Um, 6 teams, 3-man groups going for the opportunity to split 12,000 EMs. Winner getting that has been confirmed by SimWorld Hoops leadership. Rick, your favorite matchup, your favorite team. I guess we haven't seen the matchups yet, so your favorite team, your favorite player. What are you looking forward to here on Saturday?
Show me the money. All right. I got a favorite, and I think it was
Okay.
smart on their behalf when they got together. The new Creighton teammates, Ethan Letterman, Mark Chisholm, and the player that Ethan Letterman played over with Africa Boama. I like those three guys. You have shooting, you have um, you have defense, and you have a big. I like that. Now, I don't know if I should let the cat out the bag. I don't know if everybody knew that, but those three guys are on teams. Those are my favorites. I do have a second favorite that I like. Can I get a second one really quick? Is that
Go for
fine?
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kai Killens, Irving, Daniel Irving, and try. What's how you pronounce his first name? Try,
Tirade.
try, tirade. Yes,
Yeah. Tirade Bush.
I like that combination. But my first combination of the Creighton duo with Boama, I think, have a really good chance of winning this whole thing and getting the money.
I like the second team you mentioned there. Kai Killens, Daniel Irving, those are two of the top players in college or in SimWorld Prep. Um, I think that if you look at the groups here that have been announced, there's not in terms of the two teams that you mentioned, there's not another team that has that type of talent level, right? I mean, there's some decent prospects in this list, but to sit here and say that you could expect anybody except for two guys in college and Kai Killens, who probably could be in college right now and be
Right.
a very efficient, if not dominant player, just based off everything that he's been able to do for Gulf Coast Lockdown, those would be the two teams. I mean, they are head and shoulders in terms of skill set and in terms of experience level above the rest of the field here for Hoops Hooligan. That's why I think that that's the team to be dangerous about Kai Killens. But I think that the Letterman Chisholm Bawama group equally talented. I don't know that right now I would take Ethan Letton. There's no disrespect to any of them, but I think Kai Killens is the best player in this entire thing, and that's saying something to his skill set, being at a prep levels team still. When you look at a team like Ethan Letterman, Adru Boama, and Mark Chisholm and the SimWorld U skill sets that they have, I just think that highly of Kai Killens. If I was to predict a team to win, it'd be that one because in a 3v3, I think it's just much more easier for a one-man show to take over and dominate, even more so than it is in a 5v5 setup.
I agree. And if Kai Killers is the number one player in this tournament, guess who the number two player probably is, in my opinion? Daniel Irving. Daniel
Yeah.
Irving is probably the number two player. So those two guys be on the same team. You got ISO ball all day long, 3-on-3. Boys are gonna be sliding to the left, sliding to the right. It's gonna be cha-cha sliding all over the place. So you got to make sure you tune in to watch that. Now here's the part that I really want to get across really quick. There's gonna be a player that we have not spoken about, that we have not talked about, that doesn't have a light shining and playing in this tournament. I love these tournaments for the guys who are the prospects and the unknowns because someone gonna leave out of here and we're gonna be chanting their name. because
Yep.
they're going to put on performance that we didn't see coming. So shout out to the Kai Killers, shout out to Daniel Irvich, but shout out to the guy who we're not talking about right now that we're going to be talking about on Monday morning because they're going to show the ASS. And that's what I'm looking forward to as well. It's always somebody that's going to come up and really put on the show, put on a spectacle, and I want to see who's going to rise to the top.
Indeed, they will, and we will be talking about them on the other side of this weekend. All right, let's head. Let's cha-cha slide to some SimWorld prep news before we bring in a special guest. A recent announcement made about the latest SimWorld prep tournament, and that is going to be the arrival of SimWorld prep in Las Vegas with Hoopla in the Valley. That's going to take place at T-Mobile Arena, maybe the largest arena on the SimWorld Prep tournament circuit. It's going to feature the Scorchers playing host, Rocky Mountain Monsters, Showtime Basketball, Best Coast Ballers, Indy Stripes, Lone Star Basketball Club. So the Scorchers getting to host a game in Las Vegas, Rick, which is just going to be an absolute joy.
Absolutely, and we get to see the Scorchers for the first time, the newly branded Scorchers. So that's gonna be interesting. I know they're hyped about it. We're hyped about it, and there's some talent gonna be down in Vegas. And anytime March I get a chance to check out Vegas, I never pass on opportunity to check out Vegas, baby. It goes down in Vegas.
We would never expect anything less than you, Rick, than to check out
A lot of
Las
balls going
Vegas.
in a hole in Vegas.
Ski. You're ski
Basketball,
shooting, right? You're playing.
basketballs.
You're doing the little roll up,
Yeah,
and yep, you're
yeah,
going to the
yeah.
arcade. Rick
Of
goes to the
course.
arcade. All right, hey, let's bring in a special guest. The most worst possible transition we could possibly have come up with, but I am excited to bring in Timothy Brown, Oregon Duck freshman. Good morning, Timothy. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Good morning. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Look, you guys, we talked about the season being about 6 weeks away, 5 weeks away now. So, what's the prep look like? I know the practices have started across the country, including up in Eugene. So, what's been going on in Eugene, Oregon, and how are you guys feeling about the season coming up?
I'm feeling very good about it, man. I know I'm going to go crazy this year. I know my teammates going to go crazy this year. We just ready to ball.
Hey Timothy, if there's good morning. First of all, thanks for joining us. Is there another team in your division that you guys are kind of circling? Like, hey, you know what? This is going to be like our benchmark. We really want to make sure see what we stack up against these guys. But this may be our toughest competition in the division this season.
So far, we're just worrying about really seeing if we could be our best so we can take it home today. I mean, not today. I'm sorry, but to the season. And yeah, we just trying to go number one. We trying to come up on the top. So we just been really practicing hard, really doing what we have to do. We stay in focus. We study and film. We trying to go crazy this year.
You talk about trying to go crazy, Timothy, and last season you were on a AT Alien squad that had some
Hmm.
other well-regarded recruits. Bevinson Patches, Royce Anderson were kind of the number one and two guys on this roster. So, for you personally, coming into this season where it's an opportunity to maybe step into a larger role, what's your personal expectation for yourself on what this new season might look like for you?
I really want to work on getting my scoring up a little bit because last year when I was with the AT Aliens, I really didn't get to average that much points and stuff. But I was kind of most likely effective, especially with all my dunks and stuff that's been going viral around. But yeah, that's what I really want to work on is mostly my scoring, my shooting, being more effective on up and down the stretch, just trying to focus. But here, really, I'm a real scorer.
Timothy, now your role is obviously, as Marcius alluded to, is going to be expanding this season's college season. What's some
Hmm.
part of your game that we haven't really get to see yet that you're going to say, hey, this part of my game you guys haven't really seen. I'm really, really good at. And you're going to see on the college level. What part of the game that we haven't been exposed to with Timothy Brown that we're going to get to see this season in Oregon?
A whole bunch of shooting, just a whole bunch of shooting. I've been really doing a whole bunch of drills, shooting drills. I've been going crazy. I'm just very excited for y'all to see everything that I got in store for Oregon this year.
Well, Timothy, thanks for taking the time. I know it's exceptionally early in Eugene to get up for this one, so thank you for taking
Indeed.
the time to come
Of
on the
course, always.
show. We do appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck. We're looking forward to seeing the real TB, right? I mean, that's what we gotta start the marketing spin
Yeah, I
on
think
that.
I
The
got a
real
new
TB.
nickname.
Yeah, that's it.
TB.
That's it.
I like that.
All right. Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate you coming
Of
on
course,
the
man.
Yeah,
show this
appreciate
morning.
you, Timothy.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right, that is our show. Thank you to Timothy for joining us. We are looking forward, if you can't tell, for SimWorld U Hoops action as it quickly approaches. Rick, as always, an absolute pleasure having you on. Let's avoid any one-way flights to Las Vegas in the near
Ha!
future. But we look forward to talking to you on the other side of the weekend. We'll recap some Hoops Hooligan action. And hey, college football's back. College football is back this
Listen,
weekend.
this is a good time of the year. Unless you got a girlfriend, this is probably not the best time of year for you. If you guys are just now getting together, this is gonna be a really rough patch. Y'all gonna have to work this out. But for sports, this is a great time. It's a great time for sports.
We're talking college, Rick. I just want to make sure that everything's above board
People
over
have
there.
people have girlfriends in college.
I, I'm just saying, let's keep this above board, Drake. All right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. We will talk to you on Monday on SimWorld TV, the only place you can see the game, be the game.
Swibber.